Good morning. Welcome to day 39 of the 100-day project. This is day 38 and 37, and hopefully today we're going to finish her. I've been sitting here looking at her for about 2 minutes. I just walked in the room. No breakfast, no coffee yet. So I'm sort of like, That's okay. I think I can still function. I looked at her and I think there's so many things I want to do. I want to fiddle around with her skirt some more. Not happy here. Got to finish her hands. Something on her hat. I'm not sure about her wings yet, but I'm at the point where I think I could go ahead and cut her out because I need to have her loose so that I can figure out what I'm going to do with her, and then I'll know how to go about finishing her off. And I say finishing her off like I'm going to finish her off. I don't mean it that way. Every time I edit that part of the video, I'm like, golly, can you not say complete her or something like that? No, we can't say that here. We have to say finish off. That's how we roll. So I'm going to take my self-healing mat, and I have an X-Acto knife. I'm going to cut out around her with my X-Acto knife. This never stays on, so I don't know why I even bother. We're just going to try and get her cut out the best way we can. It's going to be a little bit monotonous, so I'm going to do just a little bit, and then I'll go off camera. Just going to go around each piece very slowly because you don't want any chopped off fingers in the process. It's not worth it. And you want to make sure and get in the crevices the best you can. Okay, so you get the idea. Just cut her out the best you can, and then we'll come back and get anything that's extra that maybe you don't want on there. We'll kind of trim it up with our knife. So I'm going to do this off camera because it'll take a while and it's just same old thing, and then I'll be back. Okay, one bent finger later. Y'all know how I feel about fussy cutting, and this falls into the same category as fussy cutting as far as I'm concerned. It's just not as torturous as fussy cutting little things with scissors. Okay, now you have a stencil of a crazy bird lady. Looks like a beak. Oh my gosh, we might have to use that for something. Okay, so there she is cut out. And she's got some places that need some fixing up. Right in here, you can see the white paper, a little bit in here. So just go around and just kind of trim her up and tweak her up a little bit the best you can. And if you have to, if you can't get it out, then you can just take some paint and put the color that you used in here and kind of touch it up so that it's not as noticeable. Okay, so I'll be back when I'm finished with that. And I'm gonna cut these two out here, and then we will figure out the next step. All right, I have my pieces cut out. I have the negative space sitting here in case I want to use them as stencils once or twice before they tear up. I think that's a cute heart to use as a stencil. Now to make a decision about what to do with her. Let's go back to these two pieces of paper that we had originally talked about putting her on, and let's see what we think about her there now. I just think that I don't really think she belongs there. I'm gonna have to eliminate that. This one here, it's really super busy. Let me think about her for a minute. I'll make a decision and then I'll let you know what I decide. Okay, I've been thinking. I think what I like about these girls, well, this one stands on her own. She doesn't have a background, but I think what I like about these girls is they don't have too much background detracting from them. They are the focal point. They are the goofy thing. They are the funky thing. And you see them because the background's not fighting with them. Now, if you take a background like this or this, it's just too busy. And if I push it back, there's no point in really having the background. I mean, I like backgrounds like this for other things where I push it back and make something, but for the girl, I just kind of find it pointless to even do that. So what I did was I went and found a couple of size canvases. I've got a smaller one. This one is 5 by 7, and this one is a 6 by 8. And I'm going to test her on these and see what I think. Now she barely fits on here. If I give her her flower to hold, maybe she'll be doing this. I don't know. Got her on that one, and I'll take a picture. And then let's put her on the bigger canvas. More room for the flower to be put, like she's picking the flower, and then I'll take a picture of that. I'm gonna look at my pictures and make a decision. I'm just gonna have to go for one. I haven't made a decision about the board yet, but I'm leaning toward the small one because she just looks so cozy on it. But I took this book that I've got. It's just a matte stack of brights, and I was trying to see what color of background she'd look best on. She looks good on a blue background. And I love that one. So that's a way to find out what color background to make if you're not sure. All right, I think I'm gonna go with the small canvas. I've chosen to use either Victorian green, and I have a sweet mint here that I've never used, but that might be pretty. It's kind of bright. Let's try the Victorian green first. Oops, yeah, let's just do that because it squirted out. Anyway, we've got no choice. I wish I'd have put some gesso down first because even though these are pre-covered with gesso, they just need some more. I'll be back when this is dry and then we will decide whether we're gonna go with her like this or maybe try this color. I am not happy with this, believe it or not. I think she looks really cute, but I think this is just too dark. I want it lighter, so what I'm gonna try is putting some gesso down because I wanted gesso there in the first place and mixing in what's left of this paint after I get the gesso down. Hopefully it will tone down the color. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry and see if we think this is good. I think that's gonna work for me. I think I like the background color and I've piddled around a little bit with her, positioning the flower. I haven't glued anything down. I'm just positioning and auditioning places for things. And I think I like this little skirt that I keep going back to. And I even thought about it last night going to sleep and when I woke up. I think it needs to be there. Then I have this little flower I've been piddling around with. I tried punching out some flowers with my punches, but they just look too perfect and it didn't work for me. So I played around with this one and I think I like this. And it could go in her hat or it could go down here. It's probably too much down there. How about her hat? So I took a picture of her without the apron and with the apron to see what I would like the best. And I'm having a hard time deciding. So this is her without the apron, without the flower. She's cute. Then this is her with the apron. And then this is her with the flower and the apron. I really think that I'm gonna do that. She looks like a little flower fairy or something now to me. And I wanted something at her wings, but I just don't know what. I'm afraid that it'd be too much to put anything there. Maybe I change the color of them, I don't know. I could do this little heart somewhere, but that's kind of pushing it, don't you think? We don't have a lot of space. I think I'm gonna put her down just like this. And then I'm gonna do something that might totally ruin her, but we're gonna chance it. I think I'm gonna put a glaze on top of her. So I'm gonna try to get this glued down the way it's positioned right now. Okay, to glue her down to the canvas because she's thicker, it's gonna be hard to just put glue stick. I'm gonna use a regular gel matte medium. And what this is very similar to this. This is a Liquitex matte medium, but it's fluid, very fluid. And you've seen me use this a lot of times to put down paper. This is thicker, so it'll adhere something thicker. So the thicker your paper or your item, typically the thicker you should go with your glue because it helps it hold better. But I typically don't do that, but today I am. So we're gonna glue her down, and I think I can glue her and then glue all the flower stuff down and everything. I don't think gluing her down first is gonna hurt anything. So we're gonna do that first. I haven't used this in a long time. It's still good though, so that's good. Wipe off any glue that you don't need. It's not too much excess, but boy, it looked like there was gonna be. So I'm gonna let her sit for a minute. I keep second guessing this skirt, and in order to stop doing that, I'm just gonna put it down, rid myself of that feeling because I keep thinking, maybe I shouldn't put that down. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But we are going to because I think she'll be adorable. I'm gonna use matte medium for this. And then I want to put down her flower up in her hair or her hat. Then her flower, her little hand can go on first because it's not going to be holding anything. So we'll just glue it on to the edge of her arm, overlap it just a little bit. And then the positioning of her flower. Right there, I think. I'm gonna get the matte medium for this because it's just a couple of places and I want it to stick. Okay, let me hold this down for a second and I'll be back. Now we have her little hand put down on top of the flower as if she's holding it. Okay, good enough. Looking pretty cute. Now the other thing I was looking at was when I went through my stuff, looking for flowers and things like that, I found some pieces that look like little birds. These could be turned into little birds. But I think that we would be adding too much to her. I don't think she needs anything else added. I was gonna put a little bird down here on her skirt. I just don't think she needs it. Or one on the flower. I just think it detracts. So sadly, she won't get a bird. I really did want something right here though. I can't decide on anything, so maybe we'll just leave her blank. I don't think she needs any more added. She pulled the flower out of the ground by the roots, and there's the roots. Okay. Back off, right? Unless I find something really cool that I want there, or just really that speaks to me, we're gonna go with this. All right, here's the question. I want to glaze her. What color do I use? And that's the problem, because I could just totally destroy her because I can't test it. If I test it, it'll still ruin that spot. So there's nothing else to test it on that would be like this. So we could just go for it. And if I fail, I'll just make another one. What do you think? Let's just go for it. Okay, so I've got my acrylic glazing liquid stain, and it's by Golden. And I'm gonna mix it with a color. I'm thinking maybe a quinacridone nickel azo gold, a really light glaze, because it'll change the color of everything. Or a raw umber, very light. I'm gonna test out something. This is a golden fluid acrylic, quinacridone nickel azo gold, and this is raw umber, and it's a fluid acrylic. And this is my glazing fluid I told you about. I just put 1 drop in each little well. I'm gonna add 5 drops, or 6 or 7, whatever fell out, into my well. And I'm gonna test out the color on this little test piece. We're gonna ruin this. That's too bright already, I can tell. So you need a lot of this stuff. I don't know, I may not glaze it after all. I may just do a wash. Let's test it on the paper here. That doesn't work for me. Let's try the other one. That'll really tone her down. I'm gonna rethink this. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a gloss varnish on her, and then I can put anything on top I want, and probably what I'll do is just leave her alone. I'll probably leave her just like this. All right, I'm gonna let this dry, and I will decide if I want to do a glaze on top or a wash or something, and then I can wipe it off easier this way instead of getting everything stuck on the paper. That was my concern. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, here's where the rubber meets the road. I'm gonna take this antiquing medium. I've got the gloss on it, it's dry, and I've got my brush. It's damp, but it's not soaked or anything. And I have smushed it around in my little antique medium, and we're going to wipe her down like this. We're just doing it. And then, before it gets too far gone, I'm gonna wipe some back and see how it looks. Okay, I like it. That was iffy. Took a chance there. All right, let's just keep going. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. That's just water on my brush. I'm putting a little water on to help me get some of this off that I need off. Okay, I like the way she turned out. She's got a little bit of a distressed look, but nothing too major. She's really cute. So I'm going to put one more coat of varnish on top of her, and then I'm gonna say she's done after she's dry. Let her dry, and then we will say goodbye. Okay guys, she's pretty dry, so I'm not gonna touch her too much, but I wanted to show you what we had left from our box. She came out of 1 box, and we still have 2 whole pieces left, which is cool. And these are the extra little pieces, and the papers actually too, I think that I used to create these. I really don't remember now. I was second guessing myself. I think it might be the papers that I used and not the box, because it doesn't feel like these are raised up too much. I don't know. I'll save the box pieces for something else. Maybe we'll do some of these with paper. I think she turned out really cute. Thank you for being here with me for these 3 days. I hope you enjoyed this, Lucinda. This was Lucinda's request. And hello, by the way, since I forgot to say hello in the very first video. And I think it's only fitting that since Lucinda requested this, that we call this little girl Lucinda. So meet Lucinda. Also, if you guys were to measure correctly and use the right size canvas, you could frame her. So she'd be really cute behind a frame if she was a little smaller. Or if you don't mind covering some of her dress, it could be done. But if you plan for framing her, then you can plan for the size that you make. But I think she'd be really cute in a frame. All right, I'll see you later. Thanks for joining me. I will see you on day 40. Bye-bye.